With the rise of the quiet luxury and old money aesthetic trends, we have seen a rise in a rinse and repeat clothing formula that for some may lack personality and even versatility. Now, I recently had a situation when I went for a holiday in Provence. And I remember sitting at this really beautiful high-end restaurant when a couple came in. And they were dressed head to toe in what I think we can say is stereotypical old money aesthetic clothes. You can imagine them wearing exactly what all the old money aesthetic TikToks currently are teaching. You know, wear the beige, wear the loafers, wear the pearl necklace, the tied cardigan on your shoulders, the tennis outfit, you name it. As they walked in, it made me reflect on something. What happens when you end up looking like a caricature of a style? I mean, I was thinking to myself, their outfit wasn't bad looking or it wasn't tacky or anything like that, but there was something else that just didn't feel right. And that was, it didn't look natural. Their outfits looked like a cosplay. Maybe felt a little bit pretentious as well. And this doesn't say that these people are not allowed to dress like that or that they shouldn't, but we're here to analyze style to see how we can improve things. I think it's so important to reflect over whether something can look sometimes a bit too much or whether something looks balanced and natural. And you know that, ladies, I think about this all the time whenever I style myself in my classic clothing, in my elegant clothing, because especially for the elegant clothes, I don't want to look like a elegant stereotype. Even though that's my style, I still try to balance it out a bit. And I will explain how I do it a bit later in this video. So as many of you know, I teach here on this channel elegant and classic fashion styling, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't. But of course, I also have this series called How to Look Expensive. And this series is for women who really want to learn how to avoid wearing cheap-looking clothes and instead wear garments that look of high quality. Tweed dresses like this, I would say, do look quite elegant and quite classy. This is the kind of easiest way if you want to look classy on a budget. Dressing expensive can also backfire sometimes. It might not always be a good or suitable look when you dress like a caricature of a rich person. Let's say you would put on the diamonds, you would wear the fur, the gloves, the jewels and everything. And it might look a bit too extravagant, a bit too much, a bit like you are trying too hard. Again, it doesn't look natural, it doesn't look genuine in a way. So it is important to think about that when you are applying a style to your wardrobe, to make sure you apply it so that it works for you. I think one thing also what has really been sometimes misinterpreted by people is that when we want to look expensive, people immediately think that it's because we want to emulate looking like a rich person or pretending that we're wealthy. But it's never been that thing. And I think it's super important to stay aware of your style because actually you kind of want to avoid perhaps looking like a stereotypical rich person. You want to instead look like yourself and that is your true style. Now the same goes for elegance, and elegance is also a very broad style, even though it carries its own stereotypes. I have been focused really over the years to share with you how important it is to dress elegantly also in a way that suits you and suits your personality. And this is why I have developed something called elegant style personalities in my work. Because there isn't just one way of dressing elegantly. There are so many ways and you can actually create your own version or your own hybrid model. But just thinking that elegant is one style only? Not true. Elegant styling is more nuanced than that. And by the way, if you really want to find out your style personality, then go to stylepersonalityquiz.com and take my free quiz that I've created for you. Going back to this couple, I feel like they served as a reminder to me how important it is to be careful when you apply a style formula to yourself. Because if you don't get the right balance where the style looks natural on you, then you might end up looking pretentious and stereotypical. And I am sure you ladies don't want to look like that.
Nope.
And definitely us ladies who enjoy an elegant style, especially the maybe more stereotypical elegant style, we have to really be careful when we style ourselves because it is also possible to end up looking like I don't know, you're cosplaying an elegant character in some movie. Okay, so let's talk about how to dress old money aesthetic if you want to do that, but without looking like you are a caricature. Although I'm not super keen on this whole quiet luxury and old money aesthetic hype, I have spoken about that in my video that I suggest you watch after this video. I still think because, of course, these items, nothing are wrong with wearing them, but try to make them your own somehow. Try to make sure that these old money aesthetic items fit with your personality, and then tweak parts that might not work for you, and then maybe mix it up with some other styles, because who says that you really need to just wear one style? I personally do not really opt so much for the very traditional, conservative, classic, elegant style that maybe some other people enjoy wearing. A good rule of thumb, I am sure you have heard this one: always remove one item before leaving the house to make sure you haven't over accessorized yourself. The same thing works also with the old money aesthetic styling, because if you are dressed head to toe in the old money aesthetic style, then you should just pause, look yourself in the mirror and see, maybe I can remove at least one kind of stereotypical old money aesthetic item and replace it with something a little bit less old money aesthetic stereotypical. Okay, I'm gonna give you my own example. If I wear a very stereotypical elegant dress, then I might choose this cut in a more youthful fabric like denim or leather. Or let's say on an everyday where I dress very casually, I might spice it up by wearing a nice shirt dress, which is fairly elegant, but then I break the elegance up by wearing this dress with sneakers, because that is like adding sweet and salty popcorn mixed together. Have you ever looked at your wardrobe and had that feeling that you have absolutely nothing to wear? You know, when you start to pull clothes out, trying on different outfits, but nothing ends up looking good. So you end up stretching for the old clothes that you always wear, and instead you leave your house feeling and looking dull. You know, ladies, I used to have this feeling all the time until I found this amazing solution that changed my wardrobe forever. And I want to share this solution with you, and I'm doing it in a private class that I'm hosting free of charge. So if you want to stop having this headache every time you get dressed, then come and join this class, because I will be teaching you 5 amazing tools that you must use in your styling and shopping process. And ladies, it's a complete game changer. Don't miss this class. Just go to nothingtowear.me and sign up for this masterclass. But ladies, hurry up, because this class is going away and it's only here for a limited amount of time. Lastly, be careful with certain stereotypical attributes of the old money aesthetic style. Think about it this way. There are just certain elements that are very stereotypical. Like, we're talking about the pearl necklace, we're talking about the cardigan that you tie on your shoulders, certain type of tea dresses, certain A-line dresses, maybe beige blazers or beige high-waist pants, or maybe even white high-waist shorts. And these are just to name a few. Feel free to add more in the comments section below. And please be aware, nothing wrong with wearing these items. There is nothing wrong with a pearl necklace or a white high-waist shorts, but it's about how you combine it, ladies. If you're just draped head to toe with all the stereotypical items, then of course it's gonna look a bit too much. Always double check if maybe you're wearing too many of these items when you style yourself, and then just remove at least one to spice things up a little bit to not look so stereotypical. And if you wonder what my thoughts are on the old money aesthetic and quiet luxury trend, well, guess what? I kinda hate it. And now we'll explain why in this video that I suggest you watch now. I will see you there.